Hello and welcome back, everybody. You're listening to a new interview in my series with the autistic women. In this series, I have asked autistic women to tell us about their struggles, problems, and limitations in everyday life because autism is not something you can see, it's invisible. And usually, autistic women are not seen and heard in society, and therefore, I think it's very important to make her visible. If you find these interviews helpful, please consider donating to my fundraiser. The link is just below the video. Thanks. Okay, today's guest is Alison from California. Hi, Alison.
Hi, Tanya.
Alison, you own your own company. You're a mother of 4 kids, and you're now going to tell us your special story about the diagnosis.
Oh man. So my diagnosis actually started when I was like 2 years old. They found that I just went from walking, basically from my belly to walking. My parent, which was strange to my family. And so my parents put me in this program called Lance's Learning Center. And that was the first like real sign that something was, going on with me. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And so just growing up throughout the years, my parents kept taking me to doctors and no one really could figure it out until I was 13. And a psychiatrist diagnosed me, or psychologist diagnosed me with Asperger's. And so I was put on Ritalin and other medications. And that was really, we didn't really understand what it was. And so we just kind of brushed it aside and I kept going on with life until I was in my mid 30s that I discovered that I was autistic after going to my daughters. My daughters are both autistic, and I was at their psychiatrist and psychologist, and they informed me. They said the psychiatrist said, you're autistic," and I said, "I have Asperger's, but I'm not autistic." And that's when I learned. That's when I learned that what Asperger's, that they're the same thing. I mean, we're all on the autism spectrum, right? Or at least I am anyway. And so after discovering that, I was really made it to where I understood myself a lot more. I understood my kids definitely a lot more. And so that just paved the way for me to be successful once I discovered my diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's not
Um,
a long time ago actually that you really realized what's going on and what's happening with you.
yes, yes. It was just like 5 years ago that I truly, truly discovered it. I mean, I found years ahead that when I figured it out in my 30s, I really didn't understand it, and it took someone mentoring me and coaching me to really get me to understand who I am and what my struggles are, my weaknesses, my strengths. And so that's kind of been my journey, is and then discovering that my kids were on the spectrum, and then now raising the kids, and I starting a nonprofit. Like, that was something that I really was excited about, but I feared, because I don't have all the skills and the knowledge to do it. But now, because of all of the mentors and coaches that I've had throughout the years, I've been able to successfully run that organization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said that thanks to coaches you had, you now are where you are. Can you tell us a bit more, please?
Yes, yes. So I have a coach. Her name is Tina, and she is a genius, and she's on the spectrum. She discovered it. She's always kind of wondered, but she truly discovered it through working with me and with our organization. And also, had her children. She's not had her children, but she has children, and she's an amazing mother. And so I've learned a lot from her, as not just like in business and being in, she's my executive coach, but from her parenting skills. And so that's helped me to take some of those strategies into being a parent. And just she really helped me thrive in that area. And then she has taken the time to teach me the things that I need to know. And it's become a friendship, a true deep friendship. And that's what's so exciting, is that all of the people who have coached me throughout the years are, I call them my close friends. And so that's more, and the more that we help each other, this is my true belief, the more that autistic people stick together and help each other, mentor each other, support each other, um, the world will be a better place for all of us. And so that's, I get excited about that. And I'm very blessed to be a coach to some people as well. So I want to give back. And so basically what I tell my members is, we all have superpowers. We all have skills, that things that we're really good at.
Yeah.
And if we share those talents with other people on the spectrum, those people end up with those talents too, and they can share theirs with you as well. So it's like, it's a win-win situation no matter what, because it makes you feel good inside to
Mhm.
know that you're helping somebody else.
That's very beautiful, Alison. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah.
So, in terms of your day-to-day life, can you name a few things that you struggle with?
Yes. I struggle with routine.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have one, it's a meltdown. I just discovered routines in the last few years, and I just started building one. And they say that it takes 30 days to build a habit, which I know is true. And so for me anyway, and I basically, I get up in the morning, I do my devotion, I have a workout at the gym, and then I come home and I start work, and I work from my house, which makes things a lot easier, than being in a workplace where there's screaming children, or, just a variety of distractions. But my struggles are with organization. I really,
Mm-hmm.
like, if you come and look at my house, there's stuff everywhere. Um, so I struggle with that every day. Um, Not just with my home, but with business and work and emails. And I lose things a lot. Um, some of my other struggles are my balance, which I don't know if many people have that issue, but I've always been that way since I was young. My family called me Susie Doozy because that's my middle name. I would always run into stuff or fall or bang my head. I mean, my granddaughter is that way. She's always falling down and hurting herself. And so that's another struggle, because I'm getting older, and the body hurts a lot more when you fall. So um but that's, yeah, I mean, I have other struggles like executive functioning, just remembering little things, like sometimes brushing my teeth, which is embarrassing, but it's the truth. And so I'll do it like 5 or 6 times in the morning a week, but I miss several days. Same thing with the gym. So I guess I also struggle with like consistency. That's a big word, consistency.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very inconsistent and very spontaneous and sporadic, which are so you never know what you're going to get with me. That's what my friends will tell you.
Okay. And you have problems with noise or smells?
I do. I have issues with noise. Like, I went to a basketball game um last summer, and I normally do really well at sporting events, but I had a meltdown in the car on the way there, because the person I was with was driving erratically, and it scared me and made me angry. And so my meltdown, when I have a meltdown, it takes me anywhere from 4 hours to 2 days, depending on the severity, to get over, or to get to where I can function normally. Well, normally for me, right? And so I got to the game. I was really excited. We got upgraded to the VIP section, which is like $1,000 a ticket for those tickets. We were like I was so excited. And I had another mini meltdown because of the loud buzzer. It would be right. And so I was like, and so long story short, the noise of the restaurant, this it and the noise of the game and the people caused me to have a sensory overload on top of just having a meltdown. So it caused another meltdown in the middle of a restaurant, in a lounge, at the Clippers game. And so I had to leave. And one of my core values is fun. And so for me, when my fun gets ruined, it's a violation of my core value. And so it really stunk that I had to leave such an amazing event, but I was just completely overloaded. And so, and that happens to me sometimes when I go like to the movies, if someone is smacking or crunching their food really loudly, or they're eating something that stinks really badly, I can't do it. So it's, yeah, I have a lot of struggles. And those are just a few of many. So, yeah, it's sensory and things touching me too. Things touching me. If I'm at a hotel and the blanket is itchy, I will freeze before I'll sleep with that blanket. And I have ruined tons of clothes from ripping the tags out, which I've now learned that I can cut the tags out with scissors. But if I put it on and I forget to cut the tag and I'm out in public, I'll rip it. And my mom used to say that I would go through clothes like crazy because I would tear the tag and then there would be a big hole in the shirt, and she wouldn't let me go to school looking like that. And so I feel bad because she always had to buy me clothes. But now as an adult, I've learned to not destroy things.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. And did you come up with some coping strategies for those
I
things you?
did. Yeah, I did. So with the organizing, I get up every day and I walk through the house and I clean the kitchen, and I just do a quick cleanup and clutter control. And then I go about my day, make a lot of messes, and then at night, I do the same thing. I clean up the counters and just do a quick sweep. And I like my house to be clean because that helps me to be calm. So clean equals calm with me. And so my kids don't live with me anymore, and it's just me. And so I'm the only reason the house would get messy. So just keeping in line with that structure of doing the same thing every day. Um, Same thing with the routine. Building the routine was vital and is vital to keeping me stable, because and I might miss a few things in the routine. Like today, I got up, I brushed my teeth, I went to the gym, I did my devotion, but at the gym, people were on the machines that I needed, and I was irritated and angry because they weren't even using them. They were used it, they were just next to them. And this caused me to just have to leave because I'm like, this is a waste of my time. I have meetings. And so I don't always follow through with everything, but that coping strategy also of going to the gym and getting physically fit, like I actually have a little bit of muscles. I also have a lot of skin. I lost 200 pounds, and
Oh,
yes, maintaining the weight loss for 11 years. Uh, I have worked really hard to not gain that weight back, because that was my biggest and is my biggest problem is eating. I comfort eat. And when I'm upset, I go to food. And so I have to eat very small portions, and I do eat what I want. Um, Not all the time, but I do. And so the coping skill for the eating is eating every 4 hours and eating in small portions and not eating and drinking at the same time. So 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after. Um, and this coping skill has worked for me, as well as not drinking from a straw. I know it sounds really strange, but straws, I guess, are bad for you, according to the doctors at my hospital. And honestly, it has kept my stomach small. Not drinking from straws, not here's the other big one that I will not do is anything carbonated. Soda, beer, sparkling water, sparkling cider, can't do it. But I follow those religiously. And when I don't, I gain weight, and then my clothes don't fit. And so it's a cycle with me because I'm always, I screw up, but then as soon as I screw up, I fix it and I stop and I say, okay, what can I do to rectify this? And that's what I basically have to do with everything. Like today, my emails were all over the place, and my assistant isn't answering me, and he usually helps me to find my emails and to get into my files. And so today I was, I had to do it on my own. And so getting organized in my digital files also is definitely important. So yeah, those are my coping strategies.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have more, or is that about it?
I have coping strategies when it comes to my kids. Um, and with people. I'm beginning to set boundaries um with people and for myself, me boundaries. And I've also learned that I have to take care of me first before I can take care of other people.
Yeah.
And so my needs are now coming first. And I mean, it doesn't mean that I don't take care of other people. I do, but it means that my emotional well-being is more important than other things and other people. And so, because it is true, I've tried to take care of my kids and my family when when I wasn't, when I wasn't well. And it's just when I'm healthy like this and when I'm in a great mental state of mind, it makes it to where I cope with communicating. Like communicating is a big struggle of mine, like huge. And so the coping skills with that is I've did dialectical behavioral therapy, which I'm not a fan of any type of behavioral therapy, but it did teach me some things, which I've used to learn to communicate with people. I also read a book called Verbal Judo, and that was very interesting because it teaches you how to communicate with people effectively without offending them
Mm.
it's, yeah, it was really an executive person who coached me, Tina's husband. He told me about it, and I'm glad he did because the way that you word things with people means all the difference in the world with communication. So, so yeah, I mean, those are the books, the listening to videos like yours, like where where you're teaching people, and I get to learn other coping strategies and methods. That's another way I cope too, is from learning from people and connecting with people.
Mm.
So the more, the more people I connect with, the more I learn. So,
Great. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. If you're listening today, I give away my best strategies for free in form of a self-paced course. There are videos where you learn meditation and EFT tapping and more. And there's also a workbook, and you can get it for free. The link will be below the video, so you can get it. All right. Thank you, Alison. It was a pleasure to have you here today. Would you like to say something to our listeners?
Yes. The takeaway from today is, as you guys know, I do run a nonprofit called Minds of Light. We do believe in love, respect, dignity, and we have a no masking approach. Don't mask who you are. Be yourself and be true to yourself. And I'm always unapologetically me. And the biggest thing I can tell you is if you're on the spectrum, link up with somebody who, and with a group that where you can mentor and support each other and, just coach each other, be each other's friends. The more that we do this, the more connected our community will be and the stronger we'll become. So that's my takeaway.
Yeah, great. So yeah, everybody can have a look at her website and the community. What do you offer in Minds of Light?
We offer job coaching and life skills coaching. So we have life coaches and job coaches. And then I personally help parents who have autistic kids. So obviously for me, the parent needs to be on the spectrum so that I can help them, and the kids need to be on the spectrum. So this is this is something that I really value. And as a parent of autistic kids, especially, and so that's a program that we will roll out eventually when we have enough volunteers. Um, we also have meetups in person and virtually where everyone just gathers with each other and supports and loves each other. It's really amazing. And we have meltdowns in our groups. I'm not going to lie. People, have communication issues. But the one thing I will say is that when someone has a meltdown, everyone is respectful. And if they're not welcome in our community. But everyone is respectful and helpful in those situations. Like, and we all have the, like, we all know that if someone has a meltdown on a Zoom call, it's okay to hang up and leave. There's no judgment. We all get overwhelmed. Like, I know what it feels inside to be me. And
Mm.
I believe that those same feelings transfer to other people. Like, those people have those same feelings too. And so, if, like, for me, this is the last thing. I was in a Subway and there was a gentleman who really wanted his sandwich cut a certain way and made a certain way. And the way he was explaining it, he explained it like four different ways to the young clerks behind the counter. And I could feel and see that he was going to have a meltdown. And so I stepped in before he did. And I said, so I told the boys, I said, this is how he wants his sandwich made. And he turned to me and he was almost in tears and he said, thank you. And I said, you're welcome. And I said, and he said, I'm autistic and that was really hard for me. And I said, it's okay. And that's what we need to do for each other. If you recognize that someone might be on the spectrum and they're having a hard time and you're able to help, help them, help them. Let's love and respect and just support each other. Thanks, Tanya. Sorry for talking so long.
It's all right. That was a good example. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Thanks for showing up today and telling us about your life, Alison.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me here today.
It's my pleasure. Bye, Alison.
Bye.